Alright, welcome back.
Welcome back. We are
Last time we were fighting our boy Larry.
the cable guy?
Yep, the cable guy.
Oh, okay, good.
I just like that all the Elite Four, after they lose, just have to awkwardly sit here and watch you because they couldn't give them individual rooms. This is the cheapest Elite Four I've ever seen. Like, remember when they styled each room after the Elite Four member?
Yeah, that was dope as shit.
It's almost like the Pokemon Company just doesn't fucking care anymore, and they keep making worse and worse products that you idiots keep buying, Derek. To be fair, it's not Pokemon's fault. It is their fault, but it's not their fault. It's the entire video game industry's problem at this point.
Agreed.
Everything is so much worse than it used to be. I would say I'm like a decrepit old man, but it's actually just true.
It is.
It's not even objective. Like back when like the PS3 was getting towards like the end of its lifespan. Some people would say that, and it was like, yeah, but they're just upset because it's like not how it used to be.
I love when
this
people...
is like legitimately bad.
I love
at this
people
point.
who've been like, oh yeah, no, the Xbox 360 was such a good console. There was no No, it was PlayStation 3.
Yeah.
And they go, yeah, the PlayStation 3 was such a good console. There was no microtransactions and anything like that.
Yep.
And somebody was just like, you're fucking retarded.
It's like it was ground zero. To be fair, it's kind of true. Because, like, it was ground zero for microtransactions, but, like, it also didn't happen towards, like, the tail end of the PS3. It was more, like, it was, like, the tail end of the PS3, the start of the PS4 was when they really started doing microtransactions. That's when they really were, like, time to add loot boxes to everything under the sun. But I agree, because the PS3 was, like, ground zero. But, listen, man. Those children are young. They didn't grow up with PS2. Those children don't know what a PS2 looks like, Derek.
Trust me, I've seen
it. I know I've told this story before, but it's still one of my favorites, where I was talking to a coworker, and they were just like, we were talking games, and I was like, oh yeah, the PS2, and they were just like, you had a PS2? And I'm like, yeah. And he was like, I've never seen a PS2. And I'm like, what do you mean you've never seen a PS2? He's like, I've never seen a PS2. I'm like, what was your first console? And he's like, a PlayStation 3. And I'm like, right. You're like 10 years younger than me.
Oh yeah, trust me, I've had this conversation with like we're turning 30s. We're gonna be turning into our 30s soon.
Yeah.
And then like I'm talking to people who I'm like, oh shit, I keep forgetting you're like only like 21, and you're just like, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh god, I feel old.
The real kicker on that was just, he was like, wow, was the PS2 your first console? And I was like, my first console was the PlayStation 1.
My first console became the moon.
It's like, my first console was the PlayStation 1, and the second console I ever played was the Sega Genesis. So...
Yeah, no, it hurts, Chris. It really does hurt.
So about that. I remember when the PS... I remember when gaming magazines, because that's how you got your gaming news back in the day, was speculating on what the PS2 could theoretically be. Like, that's how old I am.
Well, that took all the wind out from under my wings. Oh, I get it, because he's using flying type Pokemon.
Ah. If we fought him on a different day, do you think he'd use a different type?
I wish. I wish. You're a lot stronger than I recall. No wonder El Primo likes you.
El Primo.
Now then, I suppose the final member of the Elite Four is next.
Oh, Hans.
It's your turn, Huzzles.
Hessel. I think... Hazel?
Now where could he be? I don't think he heard you, Larry.
He opens the door and he's dead.
Come on
the whole
in,
game
Hazel.
turns into a murder mystery.
Larry, you might need to speak up a little bit. Hazel. Hazel, you're up next!
I forgot this guy existed.
He's one of our professors. But you see, we never went to any classes, so...
Yeah, it don't matter.
Hello there, Dante. It's a delight to see you. As for you, Larry, I see you made Aretha do the shouting again, huh? I'm Larry. I'm dead on the inside. Larry is my spirit animal.
Larry's the cable guy. Gonna heal that burn.
Burn
With
heal.
your burn heal. I've never used a status healing item ever.
Yeah.
Like, not even once. I'm always just like, if they die, they die. Oh well.
Oh well. If you're dead now. Yeah, I start with that. But... Are you ready to face him of the Elite Four? I was, of course, absolutely certain you would make it to me eventually. Young sprouts truly do grow with an astonishing speed, yes. But I never, for a moment, imagined we would be facing each other so soon.
Who are you?
Now, a teacher's duty is to guide his students and grow their aid. I literally had no
Yeah,
idea what the
that's
fuck he was talking about because I never did any of the classes. But I think I must forget about my role as a teacher.
His Hazel because it's his eye color. I knew it.
For a moment. And wield all my might for the sole purpose of defeating you. I, Hazel, the dragon guarding the final fortress of the Elite Four. Prepare to learn firsthand how the fiery breath of a fierce battle feels.
I like that his suit has a built-in cape.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure, I forget exactly.
I think it's a Sherlock Holmes thing.
I might be mistaken, but I think he's like supposedly like related to Lance. But I'm like, I don't know.
We'd be able to tell if we knew any of their last names.
Mm-hmm.
Pokemon doesn't believe in last names, though.
Really
it's a
doesn't.
first name economy.
I'll show you everything I've got. Now face me with your full strength.
It must be really hard getting jobs, though, because you're just like, what's your name? It's like Hazel, and then they're like, they go and look it up, and like all the Google reports for Hazel are like murderers and shit. And they're just like, I don't know if this is the same Hazel that I just talked to.
I hope this isn't the same guy.
That's right. Give him the hammer.
Dom! Drop the hammer!
I don't wanna.
I did it. I dropped the hammer.
I found out one of the people from that show, Lionel McDouchebag, who has changed his name to not McDouchebag, but I'm never not gonna call him McDouchebag, has a YouTube channel that he still runs called like Wrath Team or something Wrath, and like I don't know what his ties are to it exactly, but I think he and a group of people made a video game called Class of '09.
Okay.
Which is this really ridiculous parody of a dating sim games. And I mean, like, it's kind of the just like the most like what's the most insane shit we can get away with putting in this dialogue in a fucking video game without it being rated AO.
Oh, I love it.
So it's just a bunch of like really petty, douchey women that you play as, being really douchey, petty women to people, and doing lots of drugs and having sex with teachers to keep your grades up. And
sounds like my
as the economy crashes into the dumps because it takes place in 2009.
I love it. Sounds like a wonderful game.
It's both really funny and really depressing, and also very time period accurate.
This is amazing. I love this game already.
They released like an updated version of it too, with like more content not too long ago. Oh my god. It's an apple.
It's a flapple.
It's a flapple. Could you, like, I don't know about you, but could you imagine the heebie-jeebies you get going to pick up an apple to eat it, and then all of a sudden it spreads its wings and starts flying around the room? Like, you think about it, you just be like, Jesus fucking Christ, what the
Yeah, no, I literally had to stop before, because the lowest form is just an apple with, like, a tail and a couple eyes.
Yeah.
And, like, it's both implied it's using the apple as, like, a little, like, home to live in, but also that is the Pokemon.
Yeah.
So, like...
That's why I'm like...
What?
Yeah, well, what happens if you, like, take a bite out of them? Do they bleed?
Do you bleed?
Do you bleed?
I have a question for you. Do you bleed?
Do you bleed?
And then the pseudo-legendary of this generation. It's really bad.
Man, that movie sucked though. Oh my god. It got a dragon head on its head. That's so... I don't care. It's dead now. It's
Pretty
not
much.
dead yet. It's
Icicle crash. Oh no, it might die.
How is the pseudo bad? It's dead.
It's really bad.
Is that even possible? It's like the whole point of a pseudo is that they're like better than every other Pokemon in the game.
Yeah, you would think that, but
Is it
watch it die to a family of mice.
Is it because it's just pure dragon type?
Dragon Ice.
Oh, that's weird typing. To be fair, I feel that way about Gen 5 too. Like, I feel like the pseudo legendary isn't nearly as good.
He's
as
not
the,
that
like,
great. He's a
Axel.
dark dragon, I think. And,
I think his biggest downside is that he's dark type. Because dark type sucks. They scream like raving rabbits, which I hate. Like, I hate that. I hate that I have that knowledge now.
You really did it. Oh wow. Oh, wonderful!
Derek is wunderbar. Wunderbar.
I'm just so proud about you.
Wow.
Oh, don't cry, Grandpa Hazel. There. Want a hug?
See his actual grandpa?
I don't know, maybe.
What's the lore on this game, Derek? Give me the 6.
I don't fucking care. Sorry about all that, Dante. That old man can be like that sometimes.
Derek, you're telling me you can't give me the lore on Pokemon, but I can give the entire lore of Assassin's Creed?
Not of this crappy version of Pokemon.
Derek, Assassin's Creed! It's all crappy now.
It really is.
Once you get past 3, it's all nonsense.
He was talking to me about Assassin's Creed recently. I was like, oh yeah, my buddy's playing through a bunch of them. And he was just like, I was just like, yeah, the new ones. And he's like, yeah, the new ones aren't great.
No. To be fair, they haven't been good, so... Well... People would argue that 3 is the first bad one, and people also argue that 4 is the last good one, which is confusing when you think about it.
So what is it about you? I'm so overwhelmed. I guess I gotta be doing the talking. Anyway, your result of the gym test challenges.
Oh, wait, you're telling me that the only level-headed one here is the one that has to do the talking? I would have never guessed.
A pass, no doubt about it. Yeah, you're tougher than steel. Yep. And you're so beautiful.
Beautiful.
Congratulations. Let's see
Hold
what
on,
you
wait.
want.
Everyone's standing around to clap. Congratulations.
I'd like to say you're good to go, but there's something just a wee bit more about the champion assessment. This is your final test.
You
See
have
that
to
back
beat
door
the
there?
champion. Yeah.
Our fearless champion, commander, the final opponent you'll face for your test is waiting beyond there. Her skills are amazing. She was able to strong-arm all of us to join the Elite Four. You can't find a mightier champion except for Lance. And Steven.
And Cynthia.
And Cynthia.
And Blue.
And Blue.
And pretty much anyone else.
And most of the Elite Four.
And
most
whoever
of the champions.
And whoever ended up being the Elite Four at the end of 7.
You.
Yeah.
The player character.
Yeah, even us. And we didn't even have an Elite Four.
So what's funny about Sun and Moon is you're not facing an Elite Four or a champion. You are the champion. You're defending your champion.
And in Sun and Moon?
Yeah. You're defending your title. Which is actually dope as shit.
Is it really?
It's an interesting play on it.
It's that entire one was them like establishing the Elite Four.
Correct.
So like.
So what's cool about it at least is.
See, I like.
Whenever you fight it, whenever you go to face the Elite Four, it's not always the same person you fight to defend your title.
I see. I wouldn't know. I've never done it more than once. Because why would I?
Yes. Though I'd like to think you'll be fine, kiddo. You beat me after all. I'll patch up your team on the house, so don't lose. You hear me?
Oh my god, I got hit with the cruelest prank ever in Pokemon.
I really like your Pokemon, mister.
Yeah.
Well, cheer, Larry. Well, good luck. God, even a baby dragon breathes fire!
That's not true at all.
Whoa, I guess you got your shove. You got over your sobs, huh?
It's like, that's not true at all. There's many mythology where dragons can't breathe fire until a certain growth size.
You were going to say something about a prank?
No, I'm finishing. We're finishing this conversation. I mean, read it.
My brain was just like, you know,
If we're gonna skip it, then I would have just told it.
just talk.
Fucking, yeah, I got hit with the ultimate Pokemon prank because I needed Chinchar, right? And I was like, I don't want to start a new Pokemon game because is there any way I can just get Chinchar? And there was an event that traded an Infernape, which I already had, so that was fine. So I just needed Chinchar, Chinchar in the evolved form of Chinchar, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, alright, I'll just get the Chinchar. And I'm like looking, and I'm just like, oh, if I beat the Elite Four twice in Alpha Sapphire,
Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, yes.
I can like get a Chinchar. Cool. And I did it.
I know exactly where you're going with this.
And it was just like, here's a Pokemon from Gen 5. And I was like, what the fuck? And it was like, oh, it's random what generation he lets you pick from. I hate Pokemon so much.
So you have to go do it again.
Oh, if you keep doing it, it keeps doing it?
Yeah, you'll get you'll get a starter from every single generation.
If you keep doing it.
So they give you one for Gen 5 and 4, I believe.
The wiki literally only said it happens once. It just said second time you beat the Elite Four, you can get it. So I assumed it was only the one time.
So you won't get one. You only get one from every generation of Pokemon, but you will be able to get
one from every generation.
From one of the stars. You get I think a Gen 2, a Gen 4, and Gen 5.
Well, it's too late now. I already started a playthrough of Pearl, so I don't care now. It's
just something that's kind of cool.
Yeah. It says you. That's the way they did it is
it's
dumb.
fucking dumb.
Yeah, so it says you.
But it's also weird because I think you might not even have to fight the Elite Four again. Because I think you got that for actually completing it once.
No, twice.
Twice.
Get it. You don't get anything for completing it once.
The game is weird.
For completing it once, I think it gave me a like Cinderace or something. The second time it gave me a Chinchar.
So then it might be a third. I don't remember.
I don't know, man. The wiki doesn't say anything about beating it 3 times. So
I don't remember.
Okay.
I think it's after the Delta episode. That's what it is.
I already did the Delta episode. And that's the second time.
Who fucking knows?
That's one of my... I don't know, man.
Welcome, Dante. It gives me great joy that you managed to make it all the way to the principal of the Pokemon, or the pinnacle of the Pokemon League.
Do we need to do this in the rain, though? Also, why is your room just the outside?
Because it's more grand or some bullshit like that.
Okay.
The final test is a battle against me, the top champion.
I don't think this game should do, like, outside shots for combat. The rain stops. As abruptly as it started. It didn't even finish falling. It just disappeared.
All you need to do is win. Before we start, I must apologize for one thing.
This game was made by amateurs. This game was made by a team of amateurs who've been making games for 30 years.
You see, I have a talent trait that some might say is inappropriate for a league chairwoman. It's the utter inability to hold back when it comes to Pokemon battles. So maybe that's why nobody passes this test recently. But it's a bit of a problem.
Like 50 champions.
To be honest. But you might manage something wonderful, like Champion Nimona. Maybe there's like, not 50, maybe there's like 5. But like still, there's another champion.
I mean, Nimona already implies that they're not that good.
Yeah.
And she must have done it not too long ago.
So,
because she's only like a senior and you're like a freshman.
No, we're in the same fucking class.
4 years.
We're in the same class.
No, they say she's an upperclassman.
No, she's literally in the same class as us.
No, I'm like certain they say she's an upperclassman. Or that she's been here. Well, either way, she's been here longer than you, which would imply that she's in a higher class.
No, we moved here. She's been staying in this region for a while.
I'm certain that they said she's an upperclassman at the very beginning.
She's the student council president somehow.
Yeah.
As a freshman.
Well,
which is weird as fuck.
I don't think she's a freshman. I'm pretty sure they said she's an upperclassman, which
also,
implies that she's been there for more than 1 year.
It's Pokemon logic, which is weird as fuck because we see people who are literal fucking grown-ass adults, like adult men, who are dressed in the school kid outfit.
Yeah.
Which I'm like...
Well, they're going to school still.
Yeah.
You don't graduate.
So something interesting about the time physics in this game, it's not set on like day or night time. So like if it's day, it's going to be day in the game. Okay. No, it's on like a 72-minute like timer.
Yeah.
Which is like, what?
Beat 'em up. It's like, yeah, it has a day-night cycle. Wow. Look at him go. Ah, so close.
Oh, that was the correct decision. Please start continue. We used a super effective move?
Who cares? We're on Pokemon. I can't remember what game it was. I think it was like Gen 5 or something where that was like... They gave like this super long tutorial on how to play Pokemon. I'm like, yeah, this would have been helpful when I was 6. We're like 4 games in, dude. Like, this is useless information to me.
Yeah.
It's like, this would have been helpful in Gen 1, anyway.
Yeah. This would have been helpful fucking years ago, bitch.
Gen 1 does technically have a tutorial. It teaches you how to catch Pokemon.
That's about it.
And like, that's pretty... Yeah, exactly. And then I think it's like, extra Pokemon go in your box. It's in the, you know, it's in the Pokemon Center. It's like,
yep.
Okay, where do I access it? Where is that? What do you mean?
It's not a great tutorial.
Gen 1 has this great thing too, because like the Pokemon Center building right gets reused for other buildings that aren't the Pokemon Center, but they never removed the Pokemon box code. So if you walk over to where the invisible box would be, you can still access the computer.
I didn't know that.
It's really fucking funny. There's so much buggy bullshit in fucking
Gen 1.
Gen 1. You can fish statues. It's one of my favorites. You can fish in statues. Statues are considered water.
I didn't know that. That's actually amazing.
You're not supposed to be able to do it. I think you have to like save, and the save will like auto-rotate your character a certain way, but once they're rotated that way, you can just fish in that. Actually, no, I don't even think it's that complicated. I think that's later games where that's a glitch. I think in the first game, you can just fish statues, because statues are treated as water for some reason.
Why am I not shocked?
It won't let you do it. I think like the trick is that it won't let you do it if you talk to the statue, right? You have to like go into your inventory and like you go to use rod while facing the statue. It'll just let you fish into the statue.
That's amazing.
But I think it only works from like the right hand side of the statue or some shit. It's like really goofy.
Why is Pokemon so horribly coded?
Because it's made by it's made by a bunch of people who wrote a gaming magazine. But in the 90s, they were sick of the fact that there was no games they liked. So they just decided to use all their magazine money to make their own game, and that's how Pokemon existed. So the entirety of Pokemon was founded and developed by people who didn't know how to make video games. That's why they're so bad.
This explains a lot.
Yeah, that's why they're so bad. Like, the entirety of their game was developed. But to be fair, Pokemon is literally the first fan game ever made that was officially released in Japan, because they were just big fans of JRPGs, most notably Dragon Quest, but they didn't like how you couldn't do certain things in it, so they decided to make their own version of a Dragon Quest game, and that's what Pokemon became.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep. Essentially, they sat down and went, wouldn't it be cool if you could catch the monsters and use them in battle? And then Pokemon happened.
Interesting.
Yeah. So just remember, if you're ever fed up with the video game industry, you can make your own loot box sim. Fucking assholes. Then you can become a multi-billion-dollar franchise and make shitty games forever. It's just that
wrong.
easy.
Not wrong.
I like that he bows for forgiveness, but his forgiving you is actually an attack. Truly the worst kind of... Is this his last Pokemon?
Second last.
Okay. I think we're gonna have to finish this in the next part, but we'll wait until we hit a stopping point. Like, right here. Boom! Anyways, with this, we'll have to see if we're good enough to beat the Elite Four trainer based off of how many Pokemon we have. It's gonna be close. But we'll see you guys then. Peace.